Hi everyone, welcome back to the Controversial Podcast. In today's video, we'll be talking about Katiso Molefe. Well, I'm not going to address him as a businessman because the things that he has done are shocking and terrible. I don't think we should call him a businessman. Even though the media is busy calling him a businessman, we cannot do that because we know the reason why he's out.
Contingent left.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Then at paragraph 21 on page 7, are you there?
That's correct.
You speak about what happened after your call with Brigadier Mokoena and the members of the Hawks left. Can you tell us what happened when you went back into the scene?
After that interaction, Commissioner, with the members of the Hawks, and then I walked back towards the house. Before I enter the back entrance, Mr. Lehasha Moloi was just seated there, but guarded by combat members. And he asked me an excuse, of which I attended to him. That's where he started to interacting with me. He has the service of the water and the service of the cigarette. I then called the eldest son of Mr. Katiso Molefe to come and assist, of which he organized water and the cigarette, and it was served by it was served by the eldest son of Mr. Molefe. And then when he was done, before I left him, he asked me a question that, Captain, what is going to happen now? Because the arrested person is the friend of the honorable or of the Minister of Police. And then I asked him, he said, because he's a friend of the minister. I said, who is that minister? He said, the Minister of Police. I said, Honorable Senzo Mchunu, and then he said, yes. And I then explained to him just a standard procedure if a person is arrested, that no, we are still in a crime scene, crime scene is in a process. After we've done here, the suspect will be taken to a police station where will be processed and formally charged. But the family members will be informed about where the suspect will be taken to, of which will be done by the investigating officer in that particular case which has witness A. And then I said, after that, other than that, witness A will deal with other matters.
Did you not inquire from him what was the significance of him telling you that the arrested person is a friend to the Minister of Police?
No, I didn't inquire to him, Commissioner.
Why not?
I took it on a lighter note, Commissioner, because I didn't know Mr. Molefe. What he was saying, for me, it was just to listen, because friends are friends. That's what came to me. If they are friends, and then I'm not interested in that, I could not dig any further, colleagues.
Just so we are clear and there's no confusion.
Yes.
Apparently, he bribed a judge and paid about 2.5 million rand so that he can be free. So at this point, we don't know whether he's still in South Africa because he was once arrested in London. So you can see that this person is holding the state by the balls. Captain Maxwell Wanda is testifying at the Madlanga Commission as we speak and has revealed some bombshells there. He spoke about the arrest of TK Molefe and said the Hawks tried to interfere in that arrest. He was actually surprised because there were so many Hawks officers there. It was about 6 or 8, and they were so aggressive, questioning the PKTT. Remember, Maxwell is the former PKTT member, so they were interrogated just because they wanted to arrest this guy. TK Molefe is not just an ordinary person. He has his own people in the SAPS. He's also controlling the Hawks. Not only that, we've heard that he's also controlling the judiciary, because there's no way that you can allow a criminal like that to get a bail. This guy is very dangerous, by the way, because allegedly he's the one who masterminded the hit of DJ Somebody. Just after DJ Somebody was assassinated, he was busy sending money to those assassins. This guy is very, very dangerous. The PKTT has also linked him to the murder of the engineer in Vereeniging. That is Armand Swart. Armand was not supposed to die because it was a case of a mistaken identity. Can you imagine? They've brutally murdered Armand Swart, only to be told no. They thought that he's the one who was the whistleblower at Transnet, but he wasn't a whistleblower. He lost his life just like that. I wonder how the family of Armand Swart is feeling at this moment, because this criminal is out on bail. There's a possibility he might not even pay for what he did. Honestly speaking, I'm not too sure whether this guy is still here in South Africa. They might tell you tomorrow that no, Katiso Molefe has left the country. He knows big people, hey? He knows ministers, he knows deputy commissioners, he knows a lot of people who are very influential. We've heard last week how Molefe and Lucky Molefe manipulated the Transnet tender documents. And as we speak, Lucky Molefe ran away. That guy ran away. As soon as he realized that police were looking for him, he ran away. And the girlfriend of Katiso Molefe was busy tipping him. Hey, we're like this. I mean, we've had the witness be last week in the Madlanga Commission. She stated that the girlfriend sent a voice note to Lucky Molefe and said, lay low, don't use your car, don't go to malls. If you're going to malls, just wear a cap, because the PKT team is after you. As we speak, he might not be here in South Africa. Maybe he's somewhere else. We don't know. Maybe he's in London. Maybe he's in Mozambique. We don't know. This Big Five cartel, I'm talking about the Big Five, are also using their girlfriends. Not so long ago, I think it was last week, Almighty Jimmy, the YouTuber, was actually threatened by Tammy Ndlala. He stated that, check out that video, remove my name on your social media. He posted something on the X app, and he said, if you don't want to do that, I'll just send my people to deal with you. That was a direct threat, and Almighty Jimmy was recording him. I mean, why is this person having balls to threaten Almighty Jimmy? Because why can't he go and threaten the Madlanga Commission? Why are you threatening somebody who's just reporting the news? Why? I really like Almighty Jimmy because analyzing this thing very well. He reads the books about the cartels and all that stuff. Why do you want to delete that person? He's trying to make it easy for somebody who's watching him to understand what is going on. Why are you mad? Clearly you are guilty if you're going to threaten somebody like that. And why there's no arrest? Because that was enough for you to be arrested. You all remember when Musa Kawula spoke about the presidential cartel, and people thought that Musa Kawula is just crazy, because I remember he released photos of the presidential cartel, and Lerato Kganyago was there. Lerato Kganyago was there, if I still remember. If I still have those pictures, I'm just going to insert it here. I'm talking about the presidential cartel. So, Witness B said this cartel is not just owned by one person. I think she stated that their primary dealings are drugs. There's a president there. Then there's executives. They are just trying to figure it out, whether it was in the presidential or else was in the executive. Because the guy is influential. He makes things happen. So you cannot arrest this guy. Those Hawks officers should be arrested, because what they are doing is just so wrong. Like, you can no longer trust the Hawks. Honestly speaking, I don't trust anything. Ever since President Cyril Ramaphosa became a president, cartels are actually ruling. Whether it's tender cartels, whether it's drug cartels, everybody's just ruling. Look at Hangani Maumela, his nephew. Firstly, he denied and said, I don't know this guy, I don't know, I've never met him. Then social media detectives found old videos of Ramaphosa standing outside Maumela's house in Sandton. And then he was like, no, It's not like that. I know him, but it's not like that. And he was even giggling about it when he was explaining his nonsense. You can see that he doesn't take South Africans serious. They're even threatening the investigating officers. They've deleted a lot of people because this AK-47 that deleted DJ Somebody is connected to 29 cases. It's DJ Somebody, DJ Vintos, Armand Swart. It's a lot, I'm telling you. The Witness B, if you listened last week, Witness B stated that she was tipped off by a prisoner. Katisa Molefe was planning to eliminate the investigating officer, that is Witness B. She discovered that Swart was also murdered by this Molefe. So the prisoner was just warning the investigating officer. That prisoner even stated that they were offered 50,000 rand for preparations, to get the car, to get the gun so that they can kill the investigating officer. She also read the SMS that was sent to her. That was scary. SAPS members are going through a lot, especially when they have to arrest a criminal that is friends with the ministers, that is actually friends with the state. I will just insert that part. That was really, really scary.
Ya wena ntombazane uyabona lokho kuphapha kwakho ukuthi ungaphila abantu i-bail sesikuphe i-30 sekuofarisha i-30,000 manje ke sizokudubula nge-AK-47 because wena unamasende eswini. And then it went on to speak about family as to we've been following you and then for the 8 days, and then we know where is your home, we know who's your family members, we know where are they working. However, he stipulated to say, but they are not involved, but you are the one because you don't want to behave like a female, you behave like a man rather, so we'll deal with you like a man. When you drive, just check in the robots because you'll never know when we'll hit.
You are busy investigating somebody and they're telling you that criminal is just planning to delete you, just like that. It's such a painful thing to be a South African. If you are a patriot, you love this country, you're trying to defend this country, you'll have ministers working with the cartels. How are we going to deal with this mess? Tell me how we are going to deal with this mess. Witness B revealed a lot of things because he said the ballistic report was delayed and the case was struck off the roll. The case could not continue, and then the PKTT came and took over the docket and investigations continued. That's when she was receiving threats. They were offering her 30,000 rand so that she can just forget about this case. If you don't accept the bribe, they just eliminate you with the AK-47. She described horrible things there. She said they described how they were going to kill her because she's behaving like a man. They also discovered that Katisa Molefe and Vusimuzika Matlala are friends. They stated a lot of horrible things about Matlala. He had a lot of attempted murders. Like they spoke about Sibanyoni and how they murdered DJ Vintos. Before I forget, she also spoke about the judge, that is Judge Ledwaba. He was busy making silly comments in court when the lawyer of Molefe said, okay, it's fine, we're going to obey the bail conditions. And the judge was like, no, a bail shouldn't be a punishment, apparently. The whole judge is saying that nonsense. So which means he did allegedly receive this 2.5 million rand. It wasn't the judge that was speaking. It was this 2.5 million rand that was speaking. How can you tell a criminal that a bail shouldn't be a punishment just because you have money? You're going to tell the investigating officers that the bail shouldn't be a punishment. You should be ashamed. Really, that judge should be ashamed. If you are going to side with criminals in court, probably Katisa Molefe was laughing and saying, yeah, my money is working. What does he mean when he says a bail is not a punishment? She stated that Katisa Molefe had to report to the investigating officer when he wants to leave, especially around Gauteng. Then they were like, no, this guy is a businessman. He's got businesses in all provinces. He can just go. There's no need to report to the IO. No, that judge is evil. Katiso Molefe knows everybody, and his girlfriend apparently was busy using the vehicle of a top cop there. That is Brigadier Nkwasho. Brigadier Nkwasho or Nkwasho, something like that. The girlfriend will bring clothes for Katiso Molefe. That's why he was always laying in court, because he knows top cops. So I really think we've got bigger issues in South Africa. Why Katiso Molefe was given a bail? I'm just thinking, this is just a speculation, this is just a theory, okay? Don't quote me on this one. I'm thinking they're going to use Vusimuzi Matlale as a scapegoat, because Senzo Mkhunu is just denying everything. No, I've never met him. But Bheki Cele said Matlala told him that they've met Mkhunu on several occasions because they were going to fund Mkhunu's presidential, because Mkhunu wants to be president or deputy president. Can you imagine if Mkhunu succeeded and we'll have stupid people who will be voting for ANC? Then ANC is in power again. We're going to see Colombia 2.0. I mean, this is already a state mafia, allegedly. What do you think about this information? Let's discuss on the comment section. And yeah, please subscribe. Please share this video. Please like it. I love it when you like this video. And please, let's be respectful on the comment section. I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.